space bastard.
Over here. Hello? I keep forgetting our boy, Mr. Corporate Plague Marine at this point. Branding for Terrible Food Marine. Alright, how's everyone doing? I tried to be a little quicker on the beginning there, as I think what's happening with some people watching the VOD later are just not really getting through the start screen. I don't know. Anyway. How are the people doing? I'm still realizing I need to organize my screens a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alright, how are the people doing? Hello. I am here. We are painting the rest of the sergeant's body, and then doing a bunch of bases, as you can kind of see in the game. Okay. So, why am I blurry? Did that work? Nope. Where? I got something like too close to the camera, and now I want... There we go. Okay. It's like a magic trick. So I got new gamer subs, and it is shockingly good. The Sigma Brain from Ethan of, was it H3 Productions? Is that what it's called? H3 something. I know that much. It's like a spicy lime. Oh, and it came with a free... I'm guessing to have people try it. Free sustainable nutrient bar. Or what does it say on it? Sus Snacks. Sustainable nutritious food bar. And supposedly it's mostly made out of cricket. But actually just tasted like a Rice Krispie treat, actually, shockingly. Actually, what are supposedly the nutrients in this? I didn't even read that part. I read the ingredients. What are the nutrients in this? So 100 calories, 5 grams fat, 1.5 grams sat fat, 55 milligrams sodium, 14 grams carbs. Isn't that kind of a lot for a bar? 6 grams fiber, 1 gram sugar, 8 grams protein, and like really negligible vitamins. What is this supposed to... I guess like 8 grams is kind of decent for a bar. Seems like a lot of carbs though. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not on like a keto diet or anything anyway. Alright. Actual content. Painting. So the biggest thing I got left on this guy is cleaning up the black everywhere. We need to clean up the black. Okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a good time. I am definitely not tired at all. Programming for 6.5 hours. That definitely is not me right now. You are thinking of someone else. I still feel like there's like stuff all over my face from dinner. Alright, what we got? Sometimes I swear the real magic happens in the cleanup phase. That's when suddenly everything looks amazing. You can paint the rest of it like an absolute novice, but if you can clean up well, it's gonna look great. And sometimes you actually I can just go back and do all the colors over again.
This is the fat rat.
to make an actual progress. Come on. There we go.
Yo, this is the Fat Rat. The Fat Rat.
I forgot to do an actual intro this time. I thought of that earlier. I was like, I'm gonna actually figure out something to say at the beginning of every stream. As usual, did not do it. And yes, I do realize I keep just kind of dropping into the groove. Not really talking. I should be talking. I'm just actually very tired. Thought about not streaming tonight, but I told multiple people I'd be streaming tonight, so here I am. That was probably the single biggest motivation. Oh, that and I think it was last night's stream was getting some VOD traffic, and I was like, yeah, let's try to boost those numbers a little bit more. Seeking that view count dopamine. It's probably not a good idea at all. In all reality, but eh. Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix a bunch of this again. So yeah, erring on the quiet side, as again, I didn't really have a video ready. The only topic really are the new Space Marine points. Which, I mean, I guess I could start now on that. I just don't think it's actually listening, but we'll most certainly be repeating this multiple times tonight. They seem to be going with the strategy of making Space Marines a horde army again to make up for the overall somewhat lacking strength. Although I think at the end of this, I think the combination of points drops and rules probably makes them pretty balanced in reality. So, unsurprisingly, they made the new models really cheap. The exception being the company heroes that could have gone down more still. As the unit's still not particularly good. And only 2 units I'm aware of got nerfed. And the aggressors aren't even a particularly large nerf. They're actually still just fine, honestly. If anything, because of the up to +3 for the fists, they're really good right now. Then they have twinlings, so they don't care about the oath nerf at all. In fact, them with the Firestorm, whatever. Firestorm, Assault Force, Assaults, yeah. They are still rather devastating for that many strength 5 shots of either profile. Doesn't even matter which weapons you took, they're still gonna be pretty good. Now, you saw Intercessors, however, those just look amazing. Oh, something weird I noticed that when I was setting up to stream, I had tried pulling up the full document on Warhammer community. It seems like they still haven't actually released that. So, Auspex super early in the morning this morning for me when it first came out, I think at like 3 AM. had said something about 8 hours from when it was going up. I'm guessing he's a day off. I'm guessing the patch actually is meant to come out Friday. I wonder if he's going to end up in any kind of trouble for that.
seen a face. My eyes are shut, but I can see the void between you and me. And I feel like I'm going insane. Me, is anybody there?
Yeah, is anybody there? I have a feeling not yet. We'll get there.
Calling out, calling out,
Me on average stream.
calling out. Save me. I'm running out of air. I'm running out of air. I'm running out of air. I'm running out of air.
Oh boy, my hands are shaking. It's always a good sign. What even happened on Abominus Pauldron? Jeez. Alright, I think I am not done. I was about to say, I think I can move on to the bolts, and then this one's done, but that would be a lie. Also, at some point, I still have to put transfers in all these guys. A really funny idea. To provide some kind of content, imagine if I had made a fake account to message myself with, because for some reason that seems like it would inspire like more things to come to mind, because it'd be like simulating talking to someone. I don't know if that would actually work, but that would be the logic. It seems really dumb but funny to me. And it's like, well, why couldn't you just do that without the extra account and the typing and everything? I'm like, I don't know. So I generally find it pretty easy to write. I find it extremely easy to converse with people, and I find it pretty easy to write. Talking to myself is like fine. It's usually just beginning to talk about something. Starting a conversation is the hardest part. That's what I suck at. That's what I need to get better at. Because once I have a topic, then I can go for a little while at least. When I'm really tired like this, the initial impetus is a struggle until something randomly strikes me out of nowhere, like that whole scenario. That just came out of absolutely nothing. And I had to wonder, would it work? I don't know. But it's pretty funny nonetheless.
I can feel your eyes on me. You are near, chasing down my silver light. Have no fear. Come and follow into the water here with me. I'm your wildest.
Every time I think the song is gonna say into the danger zone. Every time. I don't even know how many times I've listened to this song. A lot.
Come and get me.
Every time I think it's gonna say the danger zone.
Come and get me.
Oh, jeez.
Come and get me. You know you are love. So come try and catch me if you can. You know.
When you realize the caffeine isn't working anymore. It's not doing anything anymore. It's not even increasing my heart rate anymore. It's just doing nothing! Okay, that's good enough. We're gonna grab some iron breaker, we're gonna do the bolts on them, and then... Should I do the transfers before the base? I mean, if I do the bases now, I'm just gonna have to go back and put the transfers on. Which actually makes some sense because The texture paints got dry on them, which is going to take a while. Ooh. Alright. On the other hand, I am super tired. We're gonna give it 10 more minutes to hit the hour mark. I know it's a super short stream, but 10 more minutes. If chat doesn't pick up a bit here, anyone watching does not want to say anything to keep me awake. I'm gonna pass out with my brush in hand. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's grab the others and put the what is it even called again? The I don't see the balls. Where are even the micro set? That's what I'm looking for. That's the word. 2 words? Hyphenated? Actually, not hyphenated. Actually, based on the balls formatting, it's 2 words. So there's that. Yeah, we got the micro set on them. It's drying. Push these aside. Looking pretty good, I think. Okay, micro set. And I got a brush. Clean-ish. Did I like just not clean this guy up at all? Like, what even happened to this dude? Good lord. This guy's a disaster. My voice squeaked just then? I don't even know. Man, I am doing great. How are you? I am not losing my mind at all. Oh boy. Yeah, hold up. We gotta fix our boy. First thing is getting the highlights actually good. Also, apparently, I guess I was highlighting the bottom of the kneecaps. I don't even remember. I don't know what happened to this dude, but he is like an absolute mess. I guess I just forgot to go back and clean him up. I don't know. It's like all the paint's here, but all the paint's like absolutely everywhere. There's no way I even tried to come back and clean this guy up. Maybe I was super distracted at that stream? I don't know. Maybe chat was actually active that stream. Maybe. When I said we're painting bases tonight, I lied. Did I know I was lying? No. Bet I did. This was the most slapped together highlight job I've done, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what happened on this guy. Good evening, friends. I made a channel where I post videos about fights between Ukrainians versus Russians. If you like this type of content, go there. Well, Wagner 195. Tell me which one you're rooting for, because sometimes I can't tell with the Wagner. I'm almost certain they are not actually still here. They just popped in, copy pasted, and jumped. So that in mind, so I don't feel like staring at that all day. So there it is. Okay, and it's gone. Alright, well, I suppose before I go back and do the black to tidy this up, I should go check the other ones and make sure I didn't do a terrible job on them too. Oh, hey. Yeah, I'm gonna turn my music down a little bit. Yeah, we can...
Yeah. Alright, I can tell on Discord's not going through. Okay, it is hooking up to this mic. I was having some issues hooking this mic up earlier where it wasn't detecting it. Seems like I'm good.
Yeah! Also, I gotta switch over where my music's coming from. Okay, now people can hear you, and I'll even have music
Hello,
going.
people.
So, yeah, by people, I mean, I have no idea if anyone's even here. I've only been...
Don't worry
Okay,
about
check
it.
it,
I'll
whatever.
pretend like there's 100 people here.
Yeah, so many people.
But
man, I'm actually...
I have good news.
Good news. That's new.
Yeah, right? I locked down another consistent weekly campaign with a group, paid. That double the price of what I was charging the previous group.
Nice.
Hell yeah. As part of that, we're still like halfway through the process of deciding the setting and what we want to do. So they decided that they wanted to go with my like homebrew world that I've been designing for a while because they feel like I'd be able to run that the best. And I'm like, fair enough. I would love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the place called Crescentia, right? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into it. Map shit. It's one of the big continents, big superpower of the world, right? One of the people asked, are we going to get any factions information after we get the setting more settled? And I was like, yes, you will. And internally, I was like, I wasn't going to give you faction diddly squat. I guess I am now. So I'm creating like a decent little list of factions here. And I was
Yeah, go for it. I'm just figuring out my audio because I realized the music's like being really weird.
Yeah, just D&D 5e factions that are in the world that they're in, right?
Yeah.
Most of these are focused on Crescentia, the continent that they're on, but some of them do expand past that. So first we got one I named the Trechidarians. They're Crescentia. Their reason is religion. Follow the elvish god Vivian, huntress god who is said to be capable of traveling among realms. Followers hope to have a hunt on their side. Our followers hope to have the hunt on their side. Vivian will, and they hope in their religion that Vivian will travel to their realm one day and reward her followers with a hunt in another realm. Notice the cosmic hunt. I'm just like making religions and shit as well as part of these. I don't have any other information on this religion other than that, and I won't until I need it.
Yeah.
Purpose is villagers hire them to hunt food when resources are low, and to hunt beasts with, and they hunt beasts with a reputation. So if there's like a monster that needs hunting, they're the beast hunters, you know. And they also like are hired hunters to go get food and shit. So they're all pros.
Uh-huh.
Entry difficulty is very hard because you have to already be an established hunter in order to apply, and there's a deadly test you have to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, let's just switch that to hard, not very hard. Compared to that was the first one I made, so now the standards have been raised since then. Reputation, highly respected among villagers and townsfolk in less major towns. They're hated by a particular orcish faction that is just like their religion is polar opposites.
Okay.
Speaking of that orcish faction, they're called Hofstale. They're also Crescentia. The religion, they follow the orcish god of beasts, Rock Bone Ripper.
Okay.
Orcish god known to be a fierce warrior and a beast among beasts. He was said to fight side by side among massive and legendary monsters against mutually shared foes or even just for the thrill of it. Rock's followers form mutual friendships with massive and deadly beasts. Purpose. So you can see how that could cause some fucking like problems with the beast hunter ones and the guys who befriend the beasts, you know?
Right.
They're mercenaries for hire. Who use beasts in their mercenary work.
though not always arch nemesis. It's kind of it's like orcs in 40k. It's like, you know, they'll also just be as happy to fight whoever. The orc faction, right?
These ones are much more like imagining orcs like they're a lot more like the average race in the area, you know.
Yeah.
They're being looked at semi the same as like a human or a half elf or an elf is in the area. They're not as what's the word? Like
Savage.
discriminated against in my area as they are in others, and like not as savage, but they do definitely have that savage undertone to a lot
It's
of
Sky. It's like Skyrim
they are
orcs.
civilized enough. They are like able to control themselves and civilized enough to exist within civilization of other people. You know, to hold a job, afford to pay for a house. You know.
Okay, so I've got a faction.
Things like weaponsmiths and armor smiths,
Yeah.
but.
So I've got a faction. It's a secret faction. The savvy player might notice threads being pulled. You don't. That's the best part.
Dun, dun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a secret society type of faction, but like a highly active one in the fact that they're the like the anti-god faction.
I just thought the first thing that popped into my head about it is what if they have like a secret handshake or like secret message kind of deal where like they got to do something obscure, and it's like you do that and it kind of signals to others around that you're a member, or like you're a member and you need to go to your headquarters or something, and just make it something that's like super obscure but could potentially happen. Like if you take a banana and set it on top of your head, like that's the signal. So, like, you just have that in the background, and then one day, if any of the players ever happen to just do that in public, I guess we're going on a 10-session tangent now.
No, because you make it something dumb like that, it's never gonna happen. It's never.
It's just an example, but
okay.
It's got to be crazy obscure, but something that it could happen. You know, if I ever need to bring these guys into the story, then I can tell them about it. But it's just I like to have funny little things in the background. Like if they ever happen to do this really specific thing out of nowhere, then this stupid shit happens.
Part of my idea is that they have people, because the people the people that get sucked into this group are the people that have any sort of grudge against either a grudge against the gods for whatever reason, like, oh, you didn't save my family when they're again, you know, genocided or whatever, or the people that believe in like mortal supremacy or mortal ascension, or even becoming achieving godhood themselves, like any of the three. So like what happens is, because of that,
another technical term for this,
Machiavellian. Okay.
Cult.
Yeah, sure. But because of that, that means that
is in parentheses for that one for some reason.
a lot of the types that end up in it are also the people that end up in positions of power. So like you're surrounded by secret agents of theirs all the time, and you don't even necessarily know it unless you really pay attention. Little things here and there, with like every single group has like people in them that are secretly of this faction that have this giant crazy plan to take on and kill the gods, whether one by one, all as a group, whatever, you figure it out. But also they're like sabotaging the champions of the gods, like mixing up their orders, or like, you know, sending people against them or whatever.
To my players,
yeah,
I never tell them, because it's such like an underlying thing to my world. It's like I kind of like to do this thing. Like, yeah, I definitely include gods, like very fairly often, right? But I like to do this thing where what they're following isn't really a god, but instead it's actually like a planeswalker. And planeswalkers inherently have abilities that seem godlike. Do you know what a planeswalker is?
Yes, I know how to play. I do know how to play Magic, remember?
Yeah, well, I mean, D&D lore and MTG lore are the same thing, right? They come from the same world, all their realms and everything. It's always referring to the same lore.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how World of Warcraft has Hearthstone, which is a card game based on their lore?
Yep.
MTG is pretty much that with D&D.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to make it think like that. They're not actually gods; they're actually like planeswalkers. Like the previous one, Vivian is a planeswalker. Like that's not a god. That's just a person who was the 1 in a quadrillion trillion whatever the fuck it is chance of being born with a planeswalker spark, and then hit the second 1 in a quadrillion billion chance of awakening that spark. You know. And they were like just like an Elvis huntress when they awoken it, and they were able to travel through realms and bring back beasts from like literally other fucking planes of existence and stuff. And eventually just left for a while. I haven't come back since. I was like, they can jump through realms. I want them to take me to fight space squids. Let's follow this bitch.
Then it just turns into Age of Wonders eventually.
I'm gonna instead of giving all the info, I'm just gonna rapid fire spark notes the factions I made real quick.
Okay.
So the Hoftail guys, the difficulty to get in, it's special. You have to be born and raised in one of the 3 Hoftail clan villages, you know, and like go through like a coming of age ritual where you either befriend a beast or get killed by it. And of course, their reputation is fucking feared amongst most reasonable people.
Or oh, the test is right. The test. Okay, right. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, they're not exactly like a negative faction. Either they're
yeah, it's just like,
you know, they're mercenaries for hire.
Yeah, they're brutal druid types, which is like,
yeah,
you know, the
like
more
a
brutal
red-green color combo.
Yeah, it's like the more brutal side of nature. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. The more brutal side of nature. I'm gonna put that as a quote next to it. Then we got these bitches called the Kellerman Knights, where they have kind of a complicated secondary to their lore. Essentially, like the king and then the king's like top 5 people underneath him all have access to order around this super elite group of knights that has less than 200 members, known as the Kellerman Knights.
Okay.
That's pretty much all you need to know. They're just crazy elite knights. They're only ordered around by like the top 6 people in Crescentia, governmental wise.
Sure.
They're like the reputation, extremely respected among all the people and feared by the quote-unquote evil aligned factions and groups. Casual civilians may faint at the sight of a Kellerman Knight.
They're the land marines.
Yeah, they're sort of pretty Space Marine like esque inspired. Then we got the ones who are like the homies, boots on the ground, are after them, the Joust's men. They're a guards for hire hired by villages to defend them against external and internal threats.
Mm-hmm.
Things like monster threats, bandits, root out criminals within the town.
Right, they're like
Entry
the
levels, easy/medium. They'll accept any healthy and capable young individual into their ranks. If you're trained or not, they either way. If you come in like already trained as crazy, it's medium because you have to go through a rigorous training program before you're allowed to become boots on the ground for them, no matter how skilled you were when you entered the faction.
Right, they're your standard
organized. Enter with no training, you know.
Right, they're your standard organized adventurers group, basically.
Yeah. Their reason for being is profit and stability.
Yeah.
Fighters Guild, who hired by town.
Yeah, they're straight up the Fighters Guild.
Well respected among noble among all but noble civilians, because nobles make fun of them and mock them for being a ragtag group of riffraff. Especially like noble knights and shit like that. Like they're like, oh look at these peasants. They had to hire the peasant squad to protect them. How unregal, you know. The typical. We have this cool faction here. I call it, the name is just Balance. They're a charity/Buddhist style religion. Their purpose is to restore the balance, the nature balance of an area's elemental forces. It's a bunch of Genasi plus like 40% other races who are all like volunteers to this nomadic monk lifestyle. They have like a bunch of mysterious ways about them type of deal, and they have a way of sensing where magic is imbalance within the lands of Crescentia, and then they go there and they perform rituals and ancient techniques to try to restore the balance, right? Entry difficulties, there's mostly Genasi, which is pretty cool. Entry difficulty is very easy. Balance accepts anyone who is willing to volunteer their time and capabilities to restore the balance of nature and magic within the lands of Crescentia. Reputation, quizzical. most people like the faction balance never responds to any communication, magic or mail. If you talk to them personally, they'll talk to you, but like they don't want to say much interesting. Members, they just simply show up places unannounced in force and begin their work. It's not like negative what they're doing, but they can be known to give off a really creepy vibe and make unprepared villagers uncomfortable. And they've also have a couple of times in the past had altercations with the law for the sake of restoring balance to the land.
Mm-hmm. Then for your...
One that...
I thought of another faction, but go on.
Let me just get the last couple ones out real quick.
Yeah.
This faction is ported over from one of my previous games, is the Elsewherean Assassins Guild. They just have such a wide reach that, like, yeah, they're primarily in Elsewhere, but they have taken down high-level members all over the world. Like, high-level political figures all over the world, so they're well-known everywhere, and kind of everyone has this fear to them, especially high-level political figures.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're just Elsewhereans. The Assassin's Guild. Their purpose, instead of having like a paragraph for purpose like all the other ones do, it just says profit ? Entry difficulty unknown.
Right.
Reputation feared by everyone. Everyone else has like a paragraph with reputation. Theirs just says feared by everyone, especially high-level political figures.
Right.
And then
Because if you're not paying someone in their group right that minute, then you could be a target for all you know.
Exactly. Okay. Here's the coolest. I think this is the coolest faction of them all. There's two last ones. This one is called the Aldario Runners. Aldario is the name of the world. Okay.
Okay.
Location worldwide. They're just a worldwide faction. Reason profit. Worldwide postal faction that have their own paramilitary force who defends and delivers anything from small village to village mail to legendary artifacts being taken across the world. Before the Aldario Runners became well known, they were called pirates, privateers, adventurers, and even mercenaries by people viewing their ventures. The Aldario Runners have physical storefronts in all continents except Rufesistan, who have declared war on them, and 96% of Aldario's inhabited islands. So they're like a crazy like mail package force that's like low to high respect depending on who you ask. Because some people just see them no less as the simple mailman who walks up and down the road every morning in a little village, while others see them as brave seafaring like adventurers and warriors, a formidable foe and a powerful ally, you know. And the nation of Rufesistan, or more likely Rufesistan's current warlord, has declared war on Aldario Runners for reasons even they don't know. They're still trying to figure out why. But Rufesistan has kind of like a batshit crazy warlord right now who got there out of pure power and strength. And so he's just doing crazy shit. And so currently Rufesistan and Aldario Runners are just at war.
Okay. So the other
entry level is depending on what you're doing. If you're running mail from little village to little village, it's very easy to get in. If you're trying to be on a ship delivering mail continent to continent, it's hard. If you're trying to get into their paramilitary force that defends these deliveries, it's even harder.
Right. Okay, the other faction idea. A super high chaos type faction. The completely unscrupulous mercenary raider type.
That's the last one here.
Oh, what you got?
Let me tell you these guys. Wrath Chorus, location Crescentia, terror, destruction, and plunder. Wrath Chorus is a notorious bandit faction that has groups of members all over Crescentia, committing robberies, plundering villages, and sometimes even just raining terror and leveling villages entirely. All of their order all at the order of their ever elusive boss, who has yet to be discovered. The Wrath Chorus faction is made up of 20% orcs with an even split of all the other races, taking up the rest of their percentages. Made up of deviants who want to rob, steal, and murder their way to a fine life. No matter how many times sections of Wrath Chorus members are taken out, they have yet to disappear entirely. Look out for tattered red bandanas.
Okay, I was gonna make them way worse. It was like I
still have to judge these players and what level of stuff they're okay with.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna be like, that's too brutal, or like, that's making me uncomfortable, or if they're gonna be like, this is pussy shit, cut their feet off, or like, you know.
My opening thought that began the concept was fully drug fueled, like they're all like you know, like have you heard of in 40K
mafia shit?
Well, what I was thinking was, Zophiana. Good timing. You might have heard of these. Zophiana just entered the chat. Have you heard of in 40k the, oh, I just forgot the name of their world. What's their world? Sevlar. I think it's called Sevlar.
I won't recognize it anyways. Just go.
They're called the Sevlar Chem Dogs. Okay, they're an Imperial Guard regiment, and they're all from this horribly toxic mining world that's like basically a penal world. And basically the way they keep people mining is that they get all of them super addicted to really hardcore drugs. So when they throw them into the Imperial Guard, they keep that rolling like even more so, just putting combat stims in with the drugs. And they motivate them by like, okay, go do that objective, and then when you get back, if you get back, we'll give you more drugs. And that's like these guys. These guys are like the what I was thinking was like the drug fueled like Viking berserker types, but like instead of shrooms, it's like black tar, heroin, and cocaine. I guess that part doesn't work. I guess heroin doesn't work, but like super hardcore drugs.
I'm getting the call from that work group right now.
Okay.
It might last an hour or two, so if you're still streaming when I'm done, I'll be back.
That depends on how active chat is, because I was about to fall asleep before you entered.
Alrighty, see ya.
See ya. So, Zophiana, oh, you've not heard of the Chem Dogs? They're not super well known, but they exist. They have some lore, like I said. What do you think of the new, actually, it's a question you hadn't. I'm gonna make sure it's definitely the Sevlar, and I'm not saying that wrong. Also, Auspex claims there's new points out. Though I think he got the timing wrong. I think the points might actually be coming out tomorrow morning. Because they haven't hit Warcom yet. Sevlar Chem Dogs. Yeah, Savlar. Oh, it's I was really close. The Savlar Chem Dogs. Yeah, they're a penal legion. Composed of some of the most hardened criminals and desperados in the Imperium. Recruits are drawn from the prisons on the planet Savlar by the promise to allow them to keep anything they take from the battlefield, as well as the chance to get away from Savlar's highly toxic environment. They're like Kriegers, but like even more hardcore when it comes to chemical warfare, and they're all super drugged up. Okay, so the aggressors did go up 10 points, but Auspex had a good point in that it doesn't really matter because you know what else went up for aggressors? Their weapon skill on their gloves. Their power fists are now hitting on 3-ups. And he also made a good point in that aggressors are actually great for the new Oath of Moment meta because all of their stuff is twin linked, so they actually are just fine. You put them on the Oath of Moments target, and they have full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound. And considering that you can give their Flamestorm gauntlets, or whatever they're called, the fire gauntlets, devastating wounds, while also being twin linked inherently, that's really good. But actually a bunch of stuff for the list I'm working on went down in points. The Ballistus Dreadnought went down, the Storm Raven went down. I don't think Eradicators went down. At least according to Auspex. Hold on. Oh, and he did basically confirm what I was talking about the other night with the Jump Chaplain. Jump Chaplain still exists. That's the thing. So as long as they didn't change like his special rules, he is absurdly good with the apparently extremely cheap 85 points of Jump Pack Intercessors. So 85 or 190 for... No, not one. Sorry, 170. 170 for 10. Oh, Gilliman went down for you. And if you're thinking of going with Chief Librarian Tigerius for whatever reason, I mean, he's actually apparently really good. But I didn't know if you fit into your Legion of the Damned project, but he went down as well. For some reason, I don't understand the logic on that because he was and is very good.
Don't wanna say it, but I love it when you hurt me. Don't ever change it, 'cause I love it when you hurt me. Don't think I'd make it if you ever did desert me. I know I shouldn't, but I love it when you hurt me. I think about it all day, even when I'm sleeping. It's been a long time, but you always got me feeling. I'm like an animal and you know how to turn me. Don't wanna say it, but I love it when you hurt me. Love, 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 need your love, 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 need your love, 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 need your love, love, love. Love, 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 need your love, 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 need your love. Don't wanna say it, but I love it when you hurt me. Don't wanna say it, but I love it when you hurt me.
So I thought I was gonna move on to these guys, Bury Biologists and any Ramburn. Oh, Rambo, but the Combi Flamer's a Combi Flamer, right? So let's see. Oh yeah, Inceptors went down by 5 points, which is a little odd because they're very good. And Outriders went down by 10. Which with the Stormland stuff actually seems pretty good. Terminators went down by 5. Terminator Assault Squad went down by 10. Scouts went down by 10 and now 55 for 5 points. Stern Guard are down to 100 for 5. Though that makes sense because they got a lot of nerfs. Ballistus Dreadnought went down by 10. Invictor by 10. Redemptor by 10. So only 200 points for Redemptor Dreadnought, which is probably the best one of them right now, overall. Brutalis and Standard Dreadnought are the same at 175. Or actually, no, it says same for regular Dreadnought as it being unchanged, but I don't know if that's what the points are. What are the points for it right now? Standard Dreadnought. $135. That apparently that has not changed. Did Raiders get point changes? Raiders. Eh? Raiders. Oh, Land Raider. That, I don't know, man, I had such a long programming day today. I was doing something involved in programming for, actually, yeah, I had stuff that wasn't on the clock, so I had like 7.5 hours of coding today, basically, in some regard. My brain is half dead. Now, at least what Auspex is saying, he doesn't mention Raiders at all. The Repulsor went down by 5 points. The Repulsor Executioner down by 10 points. Whirlwind down by 5. Storm Speeders all went down by 10. The Storm Raven went down by 15 to 240. Storm Talon and Storm Hawk went down by 10. The Firestrike Servo Turret went down by 5. The Hammerfall Bunker went down by 35, but they made its special rule like way worse, so it's still pretty bad. That poor thing, never gonna be good. Razorback went down by 5 to 95, and the Impulsor's down to 80. However, characters, almost all characters got drops of some sort. The Captain and Jump Pack's 85 points. Lieutenant Standard Primaris went down by 10, Phobos down by 5, Reaver went down by 5. Does not mention the Combi Bolt, or the Combi Weapon one. Librarians, the Standard went down by 5, Phobos by 5, Terminator by 15. Terminator Libby is only 75 points now. Chaplains, Standard Primaris down to 60, Terminator 75, which is a pretty big cut for that. Bikers down to 75, Jump Pack to 75. Ancients are Standard ones 50, Terminator 75, Blade Guards 45. Tech Marine's down to 55 points, he was already good. Apothecary is down 5 to 50, Judiciary is 70. And Gilman's down by 20 points, he's 360. Tigurius down by 5, and he's still really good. Lysander's down by 5 to 100. Casaro's down to 70. Caven Strikes an even 100. Thank you. Hadro's flat 90. Ajax Agatone's 85. Like, they all got 5-point decreases. Vulcan Aston GW figured out how good he is, especially now with the Firestorm stuff, and upped him by 20 to 100. Combat Lieutenant is 70 now. I think he was 70 before. Well, that's what I was saying before, was that the, it looks like Auspex got these early, and he mentions even that, he got the points like 8 hours before it went up, but I think he actually got a full day before it went up, because these are not the points he listed, I don't think, or at least the changes don't match up. Yeah, because he's listing the Phobos and Reaver at 55, but they're still listed at 60. So, Lieutenant Combat Weapon might be staying at 70, however. That might be the thing. But yeah, this doesn't have the PDF on Warcom doesn't have his point updates. So either, or he just got bad info and his video is completely 100% wrong. I'm not sure. But he hasn't taken it down.
Calling out
So yeah. Anyway. Holy crap, I am brain dead. Oh, apparently Strauss, like, rated me, like, 40 minutes ago and didn't say anything. I just looked at my kick tab. Everyone's gone now. I would have, been a bit more vocal had I known, but, you know, I wasn't looking at any of my actual tabs. I just have the chat open. Yeah. Welp. Listen, you gotta tell me what's up. Like, I'm a multi-streamer. I don't have some very certain activity notices go through to the multi-chat. Like, when people send me money out of Rumble, that goes through. I don't know why that goes through and other stuff doesn't go through. I don't know. I didn't make the program. I didn't write any of the code, so I don't know. Is there a way to change that? I mean, probably, but I'm not going to be the one to do it. I'm going to be honest with you. Would I have the skill by the time I got the time to do it? Yeah, maybe, but that's not going to be for a while. So for now, if you are doing something that is not directly chatting to me, you should probably tell me about it. Actually, that was about the time that I was talking to Sai, actually. So it's not even like I was particularly quiet or whatever. Just didn't say anything. Anyway. How you doing, Zofia? I still need to do a recount of the points for the list I'm building. I might have a bunch more points now. I doubt it'd be enough points to do anything particularly saucy with, but, I mean, I might be able to throw some funky enhancements in there, who knows. What additional unit would I even want? Maybe like a 5-man of intercessors to grab the back line to sticky the objectives so the Typhon can push with the other vehicles? I don't know. Need to see if my list needs to rebalance. I mean, probably. Let's see. Well, you can start with Gilliman. He's... And again, this is just based on what Auspex is telling us. Gilliman is 360. The rest of your characters did not seem to get changes, according to his report. Aggressors went up by 10 for a 3-man. Heavy Intercessors did not get changed. I don't remember what else is in your list, to be honest. You'd have to tell me. Yeah. Yeah, if it's a 6-man of aggressors, then yeah, Gilliman paid for the aggressor squad. So, no change there. Crusader, Redeemer, Repulsor, and Infiltrators. Repulsor went down by 5, I believe. Repulsor went down by 5. So I think you gained a whopping 5 points. If you already had points left over, then you might be able to shove a enhancement in there. Who knows? Yeah, actually, I should still have a Google Doc of the lists. I'm gonna take a look at that in a second. I think it was this morning, I was thinking of how I could affect, like, I'm pretty sure I figured out how I could program a Google Doc to effectively function as Battle Scribe. It'd only be for Space Marines, and I doubt I'm gonna do it any time remotely soon because it's not exactly an easy job, but I know how I could do it. Actually, the initial thought was just for list building, not for stats and stuff, but actually that would be mostly copy and paste work. That wouldn't even, like, that would just be a lot of, like, time killing kind of work. That's not actually hard. Because you just make a new page for each entry, each unit entry, and just copy paste their or I guess transcript in all their stats. You can even make a whole table for the universal keywords to make that a little bit faster. Which you could then take the table for the keywords and it auto-fills into basically a practical countdown of all of your abilities, so if you follow the list, you're not going to forget any of your stuff. So it's like, you actually hit on this, if you roll this, this happens. You actually wound on, or your actual strength is this. If you roll this, this happens, and it just follows you all the way through. It'd be extremely useful. I just don't have the extra time or energy to do it right now. I'm also still playing a ton of Baldur's Gate on my downtime, so yeah. I was about to say, like, maybe we'll see what happens on Sunday. Maybe I'll get inspired, and I'm like, All my D&D games should be back up and running because a lot of people have been traveling or busy, so, like, I've only been playing one of my 3 D&D games on any given week, but I think all of them are going this Sunday, so I'll have 3 games happening Sunday. And, yeah. And while I made progress today at work, going a little slower than I would have liked. I mean, I still have plenty of time calendar-wise. It's just taking more hours than I would have liked. But, hey, I'm realizing I still have a lot to learn, even with, like, basic stuff. There's a lot of basics. Coding's kind of hard. Alright, let's see about my list here. Oh yeah, I can switch to the other, like, better music audio. Okay. Oh, I guess I don't still have a spreadsheet of this? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well I guess I'll start with the tournament list and work from there. Yeah! Do it up. Okay, Apothecary Biologist is 55 points. Heavy Intercessors X5 is 105 points. Captain Gravesum was 10 points. Oh yeah, I went down like by 30 points since I did that 2K tournament. Huh. So this is 535. I remember it being 500 flat, unless I miscounted. Captain Gravis armor. 80 points. Apothecary Biologist, 55 points. Heavy Intercessors, 105. And Land Raider Redeemer. Oh, I think the Redeemer went down now and I have that. Yeah, it's 260. I would still have a 295, that's why. 260. Right, ironically, yeah, 500 flats. Ironically, that entire block did not get changed at all. But that's fine. Since 6 Eradicators, Ballistus, Dreadnought, which is currently at a 150. And then it currently lists a Storm Raven for bad news. List went by 15 points. Good news, I had 20 star points. Nice. You just pulled it off. Yeah, 255. Okay, so before Auspex's thing, I have. Oh wait, right. I forgot about the Typhon. I have to go grab that from the other thing. Imperial Armor Astartes. Oh, these are the No! I just closed Google Sheets. Legends Field Manual. Here we go. Typhon 385. $1980 before the points changes. So according to Auspex, I am looking at Ballistus went down to 140. Storm Raven went down by 15 to 240. I think that's honestly it. I don't think I got much. Posted a list I'm thinking of using Disco. Okay, I'll look at that in a moment. So yeah, my list went down to 1955, so I actually have quite a bit of leeway to get some enhancements. Where are the Firestorm Assault Force enhancements? Well, I can't get Champion of Humanity because Tacticus Maul only, and I have no Tacticus in this army. The Forged in Battle for 15 points for the re-roll a save. I can... Yeah, I guess I... How many points is the total? 40, 60 points. How many points do I have spare? I have 45 points to spare. So I could get any 2 of the other 3, but not all 3. I forgot to post the Discord message for the stream again. Alright, let's look at yours. So, Gladius Task Force, Marnius Calgar, Boot Gilliman, Apothecary Biologist, Lieutenant Combi Weapon, 5 Heavy Intercessors, 5 Flamestorm Aggressors. Why 5 and 6? Why not 6 and 6? Unless that was a typo. 5 Infiltrators, a Crusader, Redeemer, and a Repulsor. Okay. I'm guessing the Infiltrator squads to hold down your backline? And the Biologist is going with one of the sets of Aggressors. One should be Boltstorm. Which of the 2 is the Biologist going with? Or is he going with the Heavy Intercessors? As for me, Forged in Battle seems an auto take because change 1 hit roll 1 sim for the automatic 6 after rolling, which just seems extremely good to just save a Heavy Intercessor outright. That goes to Boltstorm and the Redeemer, Calgor goes to the Flamestorm and the Crusader. Gotcha.
Was a soldier in the legions, fought against the demons, fought against the monsters made of gold. But they stormed across Arcadia, following the nature, washed away the place I once called home. I'm hiding in the blue, safe between the clouds.
It bugs me out that the squads are not going to be even if I get enhancements.
As time goes racing by, I'm wishing I could be fine, but I'm still so stuck on what used to be. Made a prison out of my mind, watch life as it goes by. Battle scarred my own worst enemy. I'm hiding in the blue.
Actually, here's a question. Because so many points went down. Do I still want the Ballistus Dreadnought, or do I want a different Dreadnought? The Ram Burn is going to be right, of course. Do I want a standard Redemptor? I think I have a Redemptor. 140 as opposed to 200. Yeah, it's 60 more points. I don't have that many points to spare. I have 45.
Yeah.
I definitely have the errata count, right? Right? Good lord, I'm tired.
Between the clouds in the blue, where I can't be found, I'm hiding in the blue. Hiding in the blue. In the blue.
Yeah, 190. 190 for 6. Kinda wish I could just fit a whole nother unit in here, but I don't think there's anything for 45 points. If I could somehow drop 10 points and get a scout squad, that'd be maybe interesting? I don't know. But yeah, apparently they dropped servitors outright, so that's not really a thing. Oh, actually, if it dropped, oh yeah, servers are 55. So actually, if I could drop 10 points somehow, I don't think that's really a thing, but in theory, then I could throw in like a lieutenant, like a Phobos or Reaver lieutenant, I guess. I don't know, no Reaver lieutenant, but whatever. I could shove a Blade Guard Ancient in there. I don't know why I'd do that, but it's a thing. Oh, nope. Standard Apothecary is for 50. The Redeemer right now is 260. Yeah. Corn Auspex, it has not gone down. I mean, I heard that Whirlwinds are good now. I mean, to be fair, I don't own a Whirlwind. I still have to buy a Typhon for this list, but Whirlwinds are sitting at 145.
Don't wanna say it, but I love it when you hurt me. Don't ever change it, 'cause I love it when you hurt me. Don't think I'd make it if you ever did desert me. I know I shouldn't, but I love it when you hurt me. I think about it.
If I dropped 3 Eradicators,
It's been a long time, but
would there be anything that would make sense to do, considering they're Eradicators that will be being dropped in Melta range, where they'll be strength 10, full reroll Melta rifles?
need your love, love, love. Love, 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 need your love, 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 need your love. Don't wanna say it, but I love it when you hurt me.
Man, unless they change something with the Eradicators, but I feel like someone would have said something right
Don't
now.
wanna say it, but I love it when you hurt me.
Nah, according to Auspex, they still have total obliteration, so yeah, I don't know why I would not stick with those. Oh, Vanguard has their place in putting Dark Angel Deathwing Knights on middle objective T0. This is what I mean about how they keep giving Raven Guard like quote-unquote stealthy rolls, but it really just incentivizes you to take the biggest things in the codex and just be done with it. Have I not kept saying that? And that's what people are doing? I suppose I can just make one of my Gravis captains like basically unkillable. Like, do you even understand how hard it is to kill a Gravis Captain with Adamantine Mantle? Are you even aware of that disgusting durability combo? So Dark Ravens versus Iron Wolves today. Okay, so Dark Angels playing Vanguard with Space Wolves playing Iron Spear. Is that what I'm understanding? I still barely know what Iron Spear does, actually. I haven't really looked at it. Like, I've heard Iron Spear is really good, but I have not looked at it. Despite me owning so many Dreadnoughts, ironically, for a Raven Guard player, I own so many Dreadnoughts. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to say I own 7 Dreads. 6 Dreads, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I own 7 Dreadnoughts. Because I own 2 Box Knots, 2 Contemptors, so there's 4, a Redemptor and Ballistus, and a Leviathan. Yeah. I mean, not all of them are battle ready. Some of them aren't even assembled, like the Ballistus, but I own them. They could be made battle ready. I really need to touch up my Leviathan. Just for, like, pride purposes. I did not do a particularly good job finishing him, because I was still pretty early on in my career, but the overall paint job is fairly good. It's just, like, chipping a lot, because I didn't do a good job sealing it. Actually, I'm not even sure if I did seal it, to be totally honest with you. There was a time where I was not sealing my models. Actually, I've been lazy with sealing it lately, so technically I'm in another phase where I am not sealing my models. The last few characters I've painted on stream I have not sealed later. I said I would, and I just never got around to it. TT Sim tourney coming up. Do I go with my list, or do I meme with a dread list? Give me a second. I want to pull up the new sheet for something. Like, you want a meme list? I'll give you a meme list. You want an absolutely disgusting meme list?
I turn around and everything has changed. Looking for a way to work it out. I'm trying to find some peace to navigate. The oak tree where I met you, and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said.
Okay.
I'm not a soldier, but I fight.
They did not allow... Oh, music suddenly got, like, really loud. Okay. They countered my meme list. I was gonna say, because it's TT Sim, bring 60 Assault Intercessors with jump packs, but they did not give them Battle Lines, so I can only bring 30. But still, bring 30 with 3 jump chaplains. Hold on, let me double check if jump chaplains can actually I'm kind of annoyed that the standard captain that took over the firstborn captain lost all of his firstborn gear options, even though I don't have any minis that actually do that. But still. Yeah. Chaplain jump pack. Assault Intercessor with jump packs. He also does mortal wounds in the fight phase each time. D3 to 3 mortal wounds. And you add 1 to the wound roll in melee to the whole unit. So you're looking at the advance and charge and then fall back in charge. Assault Intercessors with a chaplain giving them all +1 to wound on their chain swords, and they're doing a ton of mortal wounds every single round. Bjorn, Murderfang, some Wolfen Dreads, some Space Wolves, Venerables, Ballistus Dreads for weapon platforms. I mean, that's pretty memey. I just think like that many. And then you throw in a bunch of Inceptors with them because Inceptors went down in points and the Plasmas are still really good. Like, hey, you want to do like 40 mortal wounds a turn? Some Tech Marines keep them. I mean, Tech Marines went down even though they're already really good. Oh yeah, I need to see what happened with my beautiful tribal servitors. No, they have completely killed servitors. Servitors don't exist anymore. Servitors are completely gone. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna kit bash one more of those things. I'm gonna prox them as scouts. I mean, I'll probably get actual scouts eventually, but like, how dare. Man, this edition has killed all kinds of parts of my army. Just straight up nuked whole sections of my army. Of stuff that I have spent a lot of time kit bashing the crap out of because I like them at the moment. And ending other projects early. Full 5-man company vets. Just gone. I mean, I guess I could run them as Stern Guard, to be fair. They all already have combi weapons. It's weird they all have storm shields too. I mean, they are magnetized, so I mean, whatever. Yeah, all my firstborn kooky characters. Not that most of them are actually painted that well, but yeah. Oh, you know what? Screw it. At this point, if they're going to consolidate Chaplain like that, well, I do have a jump pack Chaplain. I've been kind of meh on him lately. I should just put a jump pack on one of the other Chaplains and paint him up. Or, like, modify the crap out of him and paint him up. Maybe when I get to the Storm Spear list, I'll do that. Yeah, I guess if you want to do all the dreads, go for all the dreads, man. I have no idea what the special ones do, so I couldn't tell you how actually good that is. Hey, Zophiana. I got a somewhat serious question for you. Well, serious for me, not serious for you. Okay. You know how Bowscribe, the dev, just kind of like disappeared? Like it just abandoned the project? Did he come back? Like, do we have 10th edition on Bowscribe now? Ah, well. That goes my idea. Hold on, let me double check. Okay. It actually even already has competition with New Recruit. Okay. Yeah, apparently it's back as of July. I just completely missed that. And I've not been playing enough to check the app. I was gonna say, like, if that is just an opening, an opportunity, should I actually make that Google Sheets thing and just have a little thing at the bottom saying like, hey, it's just a thing I like made with some spare time for free. If you like it, you know, throw a couple bucks this way and maybe check out my stream kind of deal. Probably take me a few weeks to really put it together, but I mean, all the indexes exist. I mean, I have to outsource Tyranids somewhere, but you know, I could get 40k 10th edition working anyway. But I guess there's no need, so oh well. It is a problem someone else has already solved. The original guy. Although, you know what does still probably need that is Crusade. But I don't know how popular this version of Crusade is, to be honest. Like, I know there was a version of that was made last edition, because I have that somewhere. But I've not seen a 10th edition one come out. Granted, I've not really followed the guy that made the first one, to be totally fair. But yeah, that probably still exists. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here in a minute, I think. I'd like to thank everyone here for hanging out while I've been super tired and not all that entertaining, really. We'll see if I don't have more energy tomorrow, and if I might actually finish all this highlighting properly and move on to the, well, first the transfers, then the bases. It'd be nice to move on, as I feel like we've spent a shockingly large amount of time on these heavy intercessors for infantry units, or, you know, basic infantry. But I did kit bash them, although most of this time it's been painting just the standard armor. I don't know. I think just because it's Gravis, it's just a lot of detail. Thunder! Thunder! Lightning and the thunder! That's what that brings to mind. Sup, Richard Royce? I think you're new here. Welcome to the stream. I was actually about to end, but you know, interest peaked. What's up? How are you? Lightning says, oh, sup, man. Well, I guess now I have to stay. Jeez, now the whole party shows up as soon as... I feel like this happens 50% of the time at least. I say, alright guys, I'm about to leave, and everyone starts chattering away. Alright, so I would have to do like 10 minutes into my stream. Really, I turn on the camera. Turn on the camera, or I'm streaming, guys. Okay, I'm gonna leave in 10 minutes. And then actually people will show up, right? That's how that works. You're good? Good. I'm glad you're good. Venom, a bunch of our stuff went down in points, by the way. Good news. I don't know how much you've been listening in. Yeah, again. My list went down by... how much did I say it went down? It went from, like, 1980 to 1955. So... 25 points? I am brain dead right now. I'm trying to math, and I am truly... Yeah, 1955 for 2 sets of Redeemer, 5 Heavy Intercessors, Apothecary, Biologist, and Gravis Captain. Storm Raven with Ballistas and 6 Eradicators, and then a Typhon. Yeah, they changed a bunch of Space Marine points, and they only increased points on 3 things, and one of them was an enhancement. Which, I mean, to be fair, Storm of Fire was very good. Hey, Richard, what do you play the 40k? Do you paint? What do you play and/or paint? What are you painting right now? and Ys and Space Marines. Let's see. The one thing that went, or the one big thing that went up were aggressors. They went up by 10 points for 3s. So a 10% increase in points, but their power fists went up to a 3-up. They were hitting on 4-ups, they're now hitting on 3-ups with their power fists, and everything they have is twin linked, so they're actually completely unfazed by the overload and nerf. Got my Ancient mostly put together in complete prime, ready to go for this weekend. The Ancients went down in points, like all of them, actually. Standard Ancient is 50 points. Terminator is down to 75, Blade Guard down to 45. I could actually now fit a Blade Guard Ancient into my list without changing anything. I don't know why I would do that, but I could. I'm now sitting at 45 points, I'm not sure what to do with. I haven't paid attention since high school. 40 years ago, I do have a build mouse. Oh, cool. What are you building? Castles and siege equipment? Oh. I like it. I like it a lot. As ironically, so I played a ton of Minecraft back in high school, and like the only thing I did was build castles. I dug very deep mines and built castles. That's all I did. I guess not deep. You can only go so deep. I dug very big mines. That's a better descriptor. Out of wood? Nice. You mean like from scratch, or like you get kits of wooden pieces that go together like Lincoln blocks? I have no idea what happened when I first panned this guy, but it's just a complete mess. I cut out bricks out of my bandsaw and used some wood glue to hold them together. Oh, you do it from scratch. You're like old school. Which, I mean, I don't go as excessive as I usually have at least somewhat build pieces to start with, but I understand more bit-by-bit crafting stuff. Man, this camera sometimes just does not do a good job. Where's my heavy gunner guy? That guy's gonna be standing in the middle there. It is all gonna be filled with like I think he's standing like this, actually. I don't know. Gonna use a hot glue gun to really make, like, gunk up the gore on him. You should build small keeps and wizard towers. I swear, I hear wizard tower now. It's like I'm back in Nam. Ironically, so I play a lot of D&D. Okay. And in the last couple months, I've had some real interesting times with wizard towers. And ironically, last night in Baldur's Gate 3, my wizard, who's named and modeled after an actual wizard character I have played in the past, and in a different campaign right now, but the relevant one was in the past to the story. Just went through a wizard's tower that had a really sad story going on in it. It had me all sad last night. And ironically, a couple months ago, that same character died in a wizard tower. At about the same time, another one of my characters was going through a wizard tower where the entire rest of his party, where at first he got unnaturally aged from like 27 to appearing as if you were like 57 or something like that. And the entire rest of his party got disintegrated. Beam of annihilation, to be precise. So I've had a real time with wizard towers lately. Also draw dungeon with D&D group. Nice. Are you a dungeon master then, or you're like the IRL artificer? The other character, my cleric, did get the other players' characters back, by the way. He had to... Even though he was close to high enough to have the spells necessary, was a true resurrection. He's level 12 or 13, I forget which. We haven't played in a few weeks. He had to actually take a potion to go into like a dreamscape and then pull his allies out of his memories of them, because the potion puts you in a weird dream state that has some reality bending properties. Your DM? Nice. Bad guy sighted. We found them, boys. Hey, as a DM, what's your opinion on player necromancers? I was joking with a friend earlier today. DMs face when they make a castle siege encounter and I roll up with a larger army than they made. Ran this group for 25 years. Yo, that's wild. You're like not far off from that that one guy that's been going for was like 30 something years. He hit 40 years. I forget which, like the same campaign, and it's same world. And so Venom, not a fan of necromancers. Why is that? Because they break everything casually. They don't have to play any tricks to break the game, they just have to show up. You like druids? Yo, I was once in a 3.5 game where that druid player knew what he was doing. That guy was broken. Where's that sheet I made a while back? Hey Venom, just for reference, without Arcane Recovery in play in 5th edition D&D, assuming you can get 4 Mummy Lords, involved. You can control a total of 426 skeletons that have dexterity 14, are proficient in bows, and can use siege equipment, ladders, doors. Oh, and have extra health and can add your proficiency bonus to a bunch of stuff. Yeah, your average damage output with short bows is in the 4 digits. These AD&D version 2 with a few tweaks. Woo! I've never played it, but from what I hear, that's the hardcore D&D right there. It's like suddenly you're playing a survival game. Actually, I got up to a fraction of that. That same character I mentioned that died in the Wizard Tower, he was only level 8. And he had, oh, what was it? I think like 14 skeletons, and not even all of them had ranged weapons. And we ran into some owlbears, and he was outputting like 90-something damage every single turn. Hey, and we had found a gun shop, and we're beginning to arm them with muskets. I'm old and don't much care about newer versions, but that's fair. I got in the height of 3.5, right as 4th was coming out, and 4th was real weird, so basically played 3.5 until I started finding a bunch of 5th edition games, and it was just easier in a lot of ways. Although I still miss the prestige classes of 3.5. I want the Master Thrower subclass back. But that's just because back in my early 20s I did a lot of weapon throwing. Still have a bunch of my old knives and axes actually. They're just in a bin. Oh yeah, so that wizard was getting set up to take over the world because his party was just gonna fund him consistently buying guns from this brand new gun shop and just equipping all his guys with guns that had they used D20s as damage die. I only learned 3.5 at 10 before 5e took over and started 5e since their launch. I just got a bunch of old 80s modules for my half-price books I want to try though. That's cool. I was thinking about D&D is a group can set its own rules. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what was going on with that one group, which was that DM said from the onset, I don't care about your group composition or how broken you guys get. I will just make things more insane. This entire campaign is a little bit more on the jokey side anyway. Which I have to say, it's been getting particularly off the rails recently, and I've even thought about leaving a few times because I actually prefer super heavy story driven ones. I want like the real high stakes, high stress, like gotta really think stuff out, talk it out, figure it out, play your diplomacy right, actually think about what you're doing. International consequences, stuff like that. Like my cleric game, that DM is like, I know some DMs cringe at the mention of his name, but that guy's like Matt Mercer level. He has like a perfect voice for every single character. He has an extremely complicated world with very advanced and realistic both diplomacy and magic use for a late medieval era type setting. Like, you know what the scariest place still is, even at level 12, 13? A bank. Because there is nowhere almost nowhere, with more intense defenses than banks in that world. Bank robberies don't happen. You know why they don't happen? Because someone tried it once. That's all that was required. It wasn't us. We don't even know the details of the story. We just know no one tries robbing banks. Because the magic in that world is... This thing's gone so, like, advanced that actually part of the plotline right now is a lot of tenseness with the Feywilds, including the main faction of the Feywilds threatening invasion of our empire. And when I asked the Archmage if, let's say, that situation happened, could we win? And he said, I mean, the casualties would be horrendous, but yeah, we probably could. I'm like, oh boy. That's the courts of the Feywild. We can just beat them in a land battle, or in a land war. Stories are based in the world of Greyhawk. Yes. It took me a brief second to remember that's the one that the novels take place in, right? The Dragonlance novels? I read a couple of those as a kid, actually. I don't think I've ever done any games in official settings, so I keep forgetting. I guess except for Eberron, because I keep seeing the name on the expansion books. Yeah, okay, alright. Yeah, I haven't thought about Greyhawk in forever. Because yeah, it's all custom settings in the games I play. So wait, does yours saying have Warforged in it? I'm curious. Because one of my other characters I play a lot right now is a Warforged bard that actually paints to cast his magic. He is an artiste warlord. Or not warlord, Warforged. Was that good night? Oh, I guess have a good one then, man. Thanks for popping in. Oh, thanks for the follow, by the way.
Touch the stars, find the center of the universe. New reality in front of us, escaping gravity. We'll be rising high above the rain. Sunset never gonna be the same. Thunder calling us to outer space, escaping gravity.
Hey Venom, you still with me? Actually, I'm doing like final cleanups before putting on their transfers. I have, effectively all 5 of their bodies painted. I thought I was going to do bases tonight, but then I ended up, just doing a lot of trimming cleaning. So that's squad 1, basically. I still got their bases to do and their heads to do. Which the bases are probably going to be a couple streams at the current rate I've been going. Just short streams and really tired, so not being super efficient. Yeah, I thought their sergeant came out alright. I need to reassess my purity seals lately. I've not been very satisfied with their outcome as of late, but hey. Yeah, this guy came out pretty good. Yeah, I thought the tilt play came out pretty good. I wanted to keep it simple but make it stand out, and I kind of just did the silver skull just on like autopilot, and then later when I looked at it, I'm like, white stripe down the middle would actually make that really pop. So, okay. Have we talked about the detachments since like Auspex got his hands on the whole codex? How's Edge highlighting them? I mean, like, it's fun, but it takes forever. There are so many, like, corners. Like, look at their legs. Yeah, you're doing that 10 times for 5 guys, because you got, actually no, 20 times, because you gotta do that on both, all that on both sides of each leg. And each guy's 2 legs, so you gotta do that 4 times per dude. Yeah. Oh, and I tried dry brush highlighting. It did not work. They're too round. None of these edges stick out enough for it to really take, and it just makes the whole thing look gray. So yeah, if you want to actually make them like pop, you gotta do it the old-fashioned way. So yeah, that's why this is taking so bloody long. But hey, that was the single most time-consuming part of it, is now done for these 5. Hey, guess what, guys? I got another 5 to go after this. And then I got... You know what I'm probably going to do? I'm probably going to do these 5 to completion and then switch to the Land Raider Redeemer I have to break them up, because I have to do 2 Land Raiders and a Typhon before this list is done anyway. I also got 3 more Eradicators to do and a Ballistus Dreadnought, so... I mean, I'm tempted to put it up for a vote as to what I paint next, because I have some options, but honestly, I don't think I want to do more Kravis Armor just yet. I think I might switch to the Redeemer after these guys are done. When will that be exactly? I have no idea. What day of the week is today? Thursday? Sometime next week, I guess. I don't see these guys being completely finished in 2 streams, unless I have like a really long stream. But yeah, I mean sometime next week, basically. Alright. So next thing is, oh yeah, so Venom. A Typhon. So, we've talked about the Spartan. Okay, you remember what Typhon is. Yeah, okay. It's the Spartan chassis, but Vindicator style loadout. It's a ginormous frontal cannon, basically. Spartan siege tank. Yeah, effectively. Okay, I gotta throw on a bunch of micro set on these dudes, and then while those start drying, I'm gonna go back and do all the bolts on them. Make sure all the bolts are done. And then I can start doing transfers, I guess, if I'm still going at that point. Alright, so have we talked about the detachment rules since Auspex came out with his stuff, Venom? I don't remember. Because Auspex has gotten the codex and has put out a video going over the basics of everything. So like, while we don't necessarily have exact wordings, we have the basic effect of everything. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you right now, the Raven Guard one, the Vanguard Spearhead. Now remember, you're not required to use any of these. You can use any of them. But the Raven Guard style one, the Vanguard one, I don't see as particularly good. Except for, ironically, it seems Dark Angels are pretty good, because, as usual, GW seems to think that stealth means staying far away from the enemy and being extremely mobile in, like, the beginning of the game. And that's all stealth means to them. I mean, they're still good at killing characters, but characters are even less relevant, really, in most cases, than they were in 9th edition. Because they can only buff one squad. But anyway, Dark Angels apparently like the Vanguard one because they can use one of its stratagems to basically drop into the midfield before the game starts a giant chunk of Deathwing Knights, which is just disgusting, honestly. But yeah, most of their stuff's kind of mid. My advice, if you want to go for something fluffy Raven Guard, that's like classic Raven Guard, I should say, because ironically the list I'm doing is very fluffy Raven Guard. It's just niche Raven Guard. I'll explain that when I get there. But if you want like classic Raven Guard, I'd say take the White Scars flavored one, the Stormlance one, and take a bunch of new Assault Intercessors, throw them in with Jump Chaplains, and/or Cave-in Strike, both of which have gone down in points, and just charge into the enemy over and over and over again, because every time you do, you're doing mortal wounds with both the Chaplains and the Assault Intercessors, and then the Assault Intercessors are hitting with +1 to wound on all their Chain Swords and the Power Fist, and it's all very cheap. 85 points for 5 Assault Intercessors, so 170 for 10. And how much is Jump Chaplain? 75 for the Jump Chaplain, which is really good. And 100 for Shrike. Shrike's a flat 100 again. Yeah, because the if you remember, the Stormlance one is your entire army gets advance in charge and fall back in charge. So literally every single turn you fall back from the unit and charge him again. You fall back 2 inches and you get an auto charge back in, and you get a the Chaplain. Okay, first it's the Hammer of Wrath from the Assault Intercessors, so for each model in the unit. So depending on the wording of that, let me pull up the exact wording here, if they give me the exact wording. I don't think it gives me the exact wording, actually. Oh, right, it's in the Warcom thing. Okay. Potentially you get 11 dice because of the Chaplain. At worst you get 10 dice from a full squad of 10s. But anyway, whatever the case is, you roll a die for every model in the unit. For every 4 up, you do a mortal wound to the enemy. Then, when you get into when you actually do the fight phase, your Chaplain selects one unit that you're in melee with, one enemy unit, and you roll a die, and for each 4 and 5, you do D3 mortal wounds, and I think it's that. Hold on. I'm now slowly doubting myself. I got it right here. Yeah, on a 4 or 5, enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 6, the enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. And then, while this model's leading the unit, each time a model in a unit makes a melee attack, add 1 to the wound roll, which also includes his fighting, which can be with a Power Fist. Like, you can still do a Power Fist in Crozius. So you can be swinging with a 4 attacks, 2 weapon save, or 2 weapon skill, 2 up weapon skill, strength 8, -2, 2 damage, +1 to wound, and then is there an enhancement you could throw on him to make him even more broken? Nah, not really. Then, like, bikes Raven Guard actually do use a lot of bikes, and they have a lot of really good bike rules in here. So you get assault on all of your guns, or you can add assault. Hold on, what's their attachment rule again? Can advance and charge, can charge after falling back. Okay, no, you don't get assault on your stuff automatically. That's actually the Salamander one, that's right. But Blitzing Fusillade, Battle Tactic, 1 CP. Unit's weapon gain assault in your shooting phase. If they already had it, gets sustained hits 1 instead. Oh wait, I think bikes got assault. Did they get assault? I'm trying to find them now. It's kind of a big deal because they are bolt rifles and you get a lot of them. Nah, just twin linked. Okay. Well, okay, the more important one is actually Shock Assault, which is mount unit only, so bikes. Reroll charge rolls and melee weapons gain Lance, which means +1 to wound on their chain swords. You can take 6 of those. And then on top of that, you can throw them in with like a bike chaplain. Throw Fury of the Storm on him for 25 points. Melee weapons +1 strength improve melee AP by 1. So those are now strength 5 +1 to wound on charge. -2. Oh, when on a charge, +2 strength improve the AP by 2 instead. So actually, and what does the jump chaplain do? Because you can do 6 Outriders, if I'm not mistaken. Add 1 to the wound roll. Okay, so maybe you don't need Lance. Yeah, because you can't do more than +1 to wound, I don't think. Oh, let me look at Lance. Oh, my book's over. I don't feel like doing that. Anyway, bikes are really strong is the point. There's a lot of stuff you can do with bikes. Like, you get, like, they're not inherently super strong, but you can make them ridiculously strong. 4 attacks, strength 6, -3 AP, 1 damage. Fall back and charge again, so you still have the... You have the +1 to wound all the time from the chaplain, I guess. If you do that. You just have a lot of chaplains in this list. It's kind of a weird list in that way, but hey. But yeah, I'm still going with the Firestorm Assault Force, which has only become more hilariously good. So, their stratagems. You have the one where your transport gets shot. You can have guys jump out and shoot back at them. It is a battle tactic, so like my Gravis captains can give me that for free. Like both my Heavy Intercessors can do it in theory, for example. Or for example, someone shoots my Storm Raven and 6 Eradicators can jump out and shoot them for a free shooting phase, basically. Okay, here's where it gets really dumb. Crucible of Battle Tactic, 1 CP. Infantry unit gets +1 to wound when shooting or fighting if they attack the closest eligible target. Okay. So my Heavy Intercessors now are wounding Terminators on 2s. Bolt squads, if Terminators are the closest things I'm shooting at, or anything of the same, anything strength 5 or under, I am wounding on 2s. Bolt squads for 1 CP. Then, let's say I want to get real spicy. For 2 CP, I can give my Flamestorm cans on my Land Raider devastating wounds. 2 CP, Immolation Protocols, Battle Tactics, Torn Weapons gain devastating wounds. If you have aggressors right now, give them Flamers, get 6 of them, put them in with a Gravis Captain, and that's a lot of devastating wounds. It's like I have a jump chaplain on here somewhere. Yeah, if you got jump pack, or you get the new jump pack intercessors, they're really, really good. Onslaught of Fire, 1 CP, Battle Tactic. Unit that disembarked from a transport shooting at the closest eligible target within 12 inches. Gets +1 to hit. If destroying enemy model, enemy must take a Battle Shock test. So if it's like a horde, like I'm already getting really good to wound, or actually I could just do both on top of each other, because one of them I'm doing for free. So I could have my guys up to against Terminators. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. For 1 CP. If they, like turn 1, I chart, like, even if I went second, for example, and they jumped onto the objective, I am then running up a Land Raider Redeemer. They're getting out. Forget about whatever the Land Raider's doing, which is a whole lot of pain in and of itself, but the Heavy Intercessors are now going to be shooting with Strength 6, +1 to hit, +1 to wound. And if it's against my Health of Moment target, it's also full rerolls to hit. And they have lethal hits from the Biologists. Yeah, and because I got all those extra points, the enhancements, all the enhancements are good depending on what you throw them on. War Tempered Artifice for 25 points is the closest one to questionable. Infantry model only, +3 strength to melee weapons. So if it's like a Gravis Captain with Power Fists, you're looking at strength 11 Power Fists. Or strength 8. Strength 8 Power Sword. Yeah, that's the questionable one. Still hilarious. Adamantine Mantle, 20 points. -1 damage to attacks against the bearer. Melta and Torrent weapons only do 1 damage against the barrier. Against the bearer. Okay. Do you understand how disgusting this is on a Gravis Captain? Do you know what a Gravis Captain's special rule is? On top of having a toughness 6, I think like a 6 wound stat line. Okay, toughness 6, 3 up save, 6 wounds, 4 up invuln. Their special rule is each time an attack is allocated to this model, have the damage characteristic of the attack. That means that you can be... Not only are Melta and Torrent weapons, so Melta guns, like Eradicators, for example, are doing 1 damage against him, but if you shoot him with a damage 6 weapon, you're only doing 2 damage to him. I mean, I'd have to compare the exact wording of it, but best I can tell, it depends on which one applies first, technically. But the way I'm understanding is that you would have it to 3 and then -1. That would be the optimum version. They might have to release a developer's notes to explain which one comes first. Because it doesn't say round up or down. So it's -1 to 5 and then half. That's 2.5. It might still be 2 if it's rounding down. I don't know if it's rounding down. There might be something in the main book explaining that, but yeah. So he's very hard to kill, as most weapons in the entire game are doing 1 damage to him. And I don't think anything is going to be doing individually more than 4 damage. Like, nothing can one-shot him. There's not a single weapon that I'm aware of that in a single attack can one-shot him with that enhancement. So yeah. Then Champion of Humanity, 10 points. Tacticus model only, so no one in my list. I don't have a single Tacticus model. Squad lead ignores all modifiers to the characteristics and rolls/tests they make aside from saves. Auto include on a scary main damage unit for 10 points is Auspex' note on that, because yeah, if you have a 10-man, Tacticus models any standard Primaris guy. Like the standard Primaris armor, the standard Mark 10, that's Tacticus. So this is a standard captain, even though he's wearing just a car, but like the actual plate itself is Tacticus armor. Yeah. Basically, if it is it Primaris, which actually Primaris and Firstborn have now been rolled in together. So really, the question is it Gravis? No. Is it Phobos? No. Then it's Tacticus. Except suppressors, because they have like their one-off like Omni model armor, something weird. I don't know. Yeah, everyone but Gravis and Phobos, which. They do now say, they do now have a Tacticus keyword, so you can double check. But yeah, so, standard, all your standard guys, your Primaris jump pack guys, I mean, yeah, it'll say Tacticus on the sheet. Last one is Forged in Battle, 15 points. While leading a unit, each turn can change 1 hit roll or a saving throw to an automatic 6 after rolling. Yeah, keywords are brilliant. That's one of the reasons why I think Cave and Strike's been one of the best Space Marine characters for a long time, is because he swims in keywords, so he has so many things you can theoretically do with him. He had legitimately like 9 keywords to his sheet in 9th edition. It was hilarious. He had so many things that played off him. Because he had like Phobos, Fly, Jump Pack, Raven Guard, Primaris, Captain, Chapter Master. He had some other stuff still. Like, he had so much stuff on him. So, you could we had so many stratagems in 9th edition. Between Space Marines and Raven Guard. And you could legitimately target him for, like, 80% of them. Infinite power. It also keyed off a bunch of other stuff's abilities in really fun ways. On top of him for a long time being the cheapest chapter master in the game. Because back then you could upgrade any captain to a chapter master, but it cost 2 points. And he was like the equivalent of a firstborn chapter master, which was kind of weird. Oh, I think you could technically do a firstborn captain with like a bolt special issue bolt gun and a chainsword, and that was cheaper. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I have lost all momentum with painting. I'm super tired. I had coding stuff of some sort for like 7.5 hours today. Made a fair bit of progress, but I went into this stream brain dead. Infinite. 1 But yeah, after seeing the stratagems, I am even deadlier than I thought I was, which is hilarious. Oh, before I forget, I always think of the song, the corn song? Or the other band, Slipknot, the Slipknot song, before I forget. You know my crazy servitors, right? Yeah, apparently they nuked servitors. They're 100% gone from the codex. So my thinking is at some point when I want to do it, I'm gonna make a 5th one and run these as scouts. That's my solution. I mean, I already have the weapons magnetized, so I'm just gonna rework the weapons on the built ones and just make a 5th one. I mean, to be fair, the models themselves suck. That's why I made these. I don't know, I think they suck. I have one of them if you want to see it. They're hot garbage. As miniatures. Like, just not good on any of them. Got some decent procs. The old servitors were weird looking. Yeah. Oh, I need to remember as soon as that check comes in I'm waiting for, I gotta hunt down and get some Eradicator multi-melt arms. Because I have 9 Eradicators, but they're all from I got them through trades when Indomitus came out, so they're all just melter rifles. But there's literally no reason not to have multi-meltas now. It's just better. When you know you're going to be in half range, it is better in every way. Like movement, or actually, yeah, you automatically get assault on them. So yeah, there's literally no reason to not have multi-meltas. It is just an upgrade. I mean, sure, you're hitting on 4s, but it's 2 shots, which is still a damage bonus. Still getting me a Space Monkey though, just for fun. Yeah, go for it. I'm just saying, at least in this edition, you're not going to be playing it as a servitor. Oh, you're saying Jakaro. I think, can you field a Jakaro as a Jakaro? I think you might be able to. Hold on. I think it's in the, oh, it'd be in a mandatory field manual, wouldn't it? Agents of the Imperium, page 8. Oh, you cannot get a Jakaro. I know that a model exists for... Oh, wait, no, there it is. Inquisitorial Henchman, Jakaro. Plus 10 points to the, whatever. This, that list of stuff is very weird. I'd have to see the actual card to understand how that pricing works for you to actually be able to run a Jakaro, but it seems like you need an Inquisition, I guess? Hold on, let me find that. Where's Agents of the Imperium? A strike force, you can have 2 retinue units, 2 character units. Okay. That's fine.
One of 8 billion down in the mud, strange children, lonely and lost, but we still run.
Where was it?
Poisonous raindrops. We hope for the day when the rain stops. Until then we stay under grain rocks and live without pain, just trying to stay alive. The sky is falling down. Been raining for centuries. They say that it's meant to be, meant to be. But you
Okay, jeez. Inquisitorial Henchman. Here we go. Alright. So, you in composition. Okay, so you get like a minimum of 4 Inquisitorial Acolytes, and then you can add a Jakaro Weaponsmith to that. And then... Fraction Assigned Agent. Can you run them without a character, or do you have to have a character?
far beyond the raindrops. Far beyond the raindrops. And you know
I like how you can set the characters minus the assassins as your warlord if you want. So you actually could have an Inquisitor be your warlord, which is pretty cool.
the sky is falling down. Trapped in reality.
Oh yeah, no, I guess you can just run it like that. So like, yeah, you get four like random duders for 40 points, and you throw in Jakaro for 10 points. You could run a Jakaro in your Space Marine list for 50 points. Just saying. I just want to make a quarter people strike or communicate with a Jakaro, a PDF guard, cabin summon, add mag leadership, open the forge, etc. Just for display, really. I think Strike would actually be quite fine with some of the more reasonable members of the Inquisition. I mean, okay, so I've read a fair number of Inquisition like books, like actual novels, because I actually love the Eisenhorn series, and a lot of the general impressions of the Inquisition are really memes. Like, most Inquisitors are actually quite good at their job. They're very reasonable, very logical, and fairly grounded people. The most consistent and crazy stuff you see, like the whole innocence proves nothing, is not because of their sanity level, it's because of the nature of their foe. Stuff like chaos and stuff, like someone's intent. You know how we would have intent be a significant part of a legal proceeding? They can't have that involved because of the nature of chaos, but like most Inquisitors are actually like very reasonable. It's just 40k is insane. That's the thing. Like Eisenhorn, actually I think he's a pretty good guy. He makes some questionable decisions sometimes, but I don't think he's actually a bad guy. Or neither his apprentice, Ravenor. Yeah. Yeah, I have read every single Eisenhorn book. I'm waiting for the last one of the Beckwin trilogy, which is gonna be absolutely wild. Dan Abnett really needs to get around to finishing that. Now that Siege of Terra is finally... I think Siege of Terra is finally over. I think he might actually get back to writing Beckwin. I've been waiting on the edge of my seat for that series for like 3 years. Yeah, he goes nine books plus a short story compendium. Was it? No, 8 books and a short story compendium in a 3 trilogy series, and we've been sitting on the finale book for like 3 years now. It's like, really, can you just finish the last Beckwin book? Because it's 3 Eisenhorn books, then 3 Ravenor books, which is his apprentice, then it's 3 Beckwin books, which is his complicated. Beckwin is complicated, but she was his main sidekick, basically. Like, his most consistent sidekick. Although at the peak of his network's power, he actually had like a small army of specialists of all different kinds. It was actually awesome. That was the second Eisenhower book. He had such a giant network of people. It was crazy. Really good books. I'd honestly say the best novel to get people into 40k is the first Eisenhower book. I'm not joking. Xenos is a perfect book to get, to introduce people to the lore of Warhammer via a actual in-universe novel, as opposed to, like, say, the Bricky videos or Luton or something. I have to listen to Amazon audio version, maybe we can listen to our work. Yeah, you get all of them on Audible. I have not actually read any of them by paper. I own the entire series on Audible. More ideas for Raven Guard, honestly. Yeah, actually a fair number of the people he works with are actually quite Raven Guard, like, in a number of ways. That'll make more sense as you listen to them. But yeah, they're all written by Dan Abnett, which is the best 40k writer, with a very close second by Aaron Bout. How do you say his name? Aaron Doutsky Bowden, something like that. ABD, the guy that wrote the Black Legion books. That's what I remember. Aaron Dembski Bowden. That's how you say his name. Aaron Dembski Bowden. Took me a second. Those two are the best 40k writers. Easy. Dan Abnett's like the grandmaster. Also, really good voice actor. Like, super good voice actor that now is the voice of Eisenhorn in my head, because the Eisenhorn, all the Eisenhorn books are written from a first-person perspective. So, like, it's like you're listening to Eisenhorn's account after the fact type of deal, you know? Well, I mean, if you have Amazon Prime, I think you get something for that. I'm not sure. It's weird because actually, ironically, I have my own Amazon Prime account, but my Audible account's actually my ex's, because we were sharing it for a while at a time. But yeah, you might get either a discount, you might just get Audible. I'm not sure. Although if you have an actual Audible account, you get a free credit every month, which, man, I must have so many credits sitting around. Because ironically, for the two of us sharing it, she never actually uses it, so basically all the credits are mine, because I'm paying for it anyway. I set the payment for that specifically to my stuff. I must have like 6 credits in there, because I haven't listened to any books in a while. I haven't listened to a lot of stuff lately, because I'm usually working. I'm not... You know what's funny is that where I did most of my listening was because we didn't have a dishwasher here at my parents' place for a long time. So I would be doing dishes for like 45 minutes to over an hour every time it was my dinner day. So between cooking and cleaning would be like 2 hours every 5 days. So I would just go through book after book like that, you know, every like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, it's another book. And occasionally in the shower as well. But lately I've been listening to mostly, like politics or science stuff. Like I've been getting back into Isaac Arthur, which is a really good YouTube channel for, realistic futurism, because he's an ex-army engineer. Yeah. Oh, that and like yard work, which, I mean, I'm about to get into another yard work heavy portion as the leaves start falling, which actually, it's been really warm lately, so that we might have a pushed back, another pushed back and or a mild winter, which would be nice. As long as I don't get the same flu as last year. Man, that was brutal. Actually, that was technically this year, that was in January. I'd really like to not have the flu for 3 weeks again. At least this time I'm going to remember to get a hold of my apothecary, or not apothecary, my herbalist client, so I can get the same stuff. She used to kill that off in like 3 days after I finally had the wherewithal to tell her. It hit me so hard, I completely lost track. Yeah, that full-on floored me. It was... Man, how much weight did I lose? I lost a bunch. Even just the first couple days, I lost a bunch of weight because I had like 2 solid days where I did not leave my bed. It was brutal. Or I practically crawled to the bathroom. Yeah, anyway. Okay, I'm in full ramble mode. I am shutting down, basically. I'm gonna get going. I'll catch y'all later. Hopefully tomorrow night. We'll see how it goes. And have a good one, everyone. If you're still watching either in stream or the VOD on YouTube or Rumble, you should know what to do. If you're here at this point, you should be subscribing or following and definitely liking. Also, I have a Patreon if you want to go the extra step, the extra mile. In which case, on the very odd time I put up a vote for something out in the Discord, because we have a full Discord community, you will get extra votes. And I'm working on other stuff to add into that, but, you know, I'm working a lot right now, so it's there. But hey, you get to be called a sexy wooden leg.
What?